Meeple Nation Podcast, episode 589, Player Elimination Games.
Welcome, citizens, to Meeple Nation. Grab your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, warm up those dice, and join us at the game table as we discuss board games and the board gaming world. Each week, the hosts of Meeple Nation share their love for board games and the amazing memories that come from playing games with some very outstanding people. Let us now join our hosts in their natural habitat, the game table.
So this week we're discussing Player Elimination Games. Now, this is not one of our favorite mechanics.
Not for all of us, anyways.
Not for all of us, but...
I tend to enjoy it more than 2/3 of our group.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But given that, we actually have quite a few games that have player elimination.
Yeah, when I was putting together this list, I pick a mechanic and I see how many games you own, I see how many games Doug owns. Finally, I'll check my list last, and I was really surprised with the amount of player elimination in both of yours and Doug's collections. Yes.
Now, as we get into those, some of those will be games that we haven't played very much for a very long time. But
and some of them we're gonna start talking about it, and you're not. That's not a player elimination game. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, yeah,
it is.
That's very much a player elimination game.
Yeah.
So we are the hosts of Meeple Nation. I'm Nathan Howard.
I am Andy Holiday.
And it seems to be just a transition that I'm not sure if you and Doug are fighting, but it just seems that more times than not, I have a hard time getting both of you here together.
We're the same person.
We're the same. Yeah, that's true. I have never seen Doug and Andy at the same place.
I'm just Doug's secret identity when he's not a superhero.
I get it. Yeah. It's all makes sense now. Well, good times. We are... even without Doug, the world's most okayest podcast. We have a website that is also okay. You can go there and you can find links to all of our past episodes. You can find show notes to a lot of those episodes. You can find a link to our sidecast, the SaltPOD. It's a podcast all about SaltCON. Find links to all of our bios, all of our socials, and our Discord, which seems to be a happening place. Actually, with the Discord, you're probably, since we don't pay for a server, you'll probably just have to email us at meeplenation@gmail.com, and I will send you a link to join the Discord server. It's not a station, it's a server. And on our website, you can also find a link to our Patreon page, or you can go to our show notes and also find a link on our Patreon. Also find a link to our Patreon page there. Our patrons make everything amazing. They make it so that we have been able to improve a lot of our audio equipment. And as we struggle still with the video it's a lot of work. And I discovered that you don't delete your files, because I had made that wonderful intro that I was all way excited for. And I needed to free up some space on my computer. And so I'm like, well, that file's done. So I just have the core file. The issue is I didn't save the export of it. And so I didn't have that file by itself. I had a file that had all of the files in it. And when I delete all the files that were in it, I have a file that says there's nothing in this file. So I got to go through and make it all over again. I'm getting better.
I was going to say it's faster the second time.
It is
faster the third.
And this is the third time doing it, actually.
There we go.
So, yeah, no, it is faster. But, it is a lot of work to do the video. And we're committing to do, hopefully, all of our news episodes as video episodes. And except for last time when I discovered the foibles of my storage freeing up abilities. But anyway, short story, way too long.
On the delete key?
Yeah. delete that. And so as penance, retribution, as a fix, I have decided to put everything on an external portable drive, so that should fill up not as fast. It's got 2 terabytes, so it's a pretty big SSD drive, so hopefully that lasts me for a day or two.
That's good. That one along with the 5 lashes.
Yeah. It was 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was.
You were bad.
I was bad, mad, sad, arg. Used all my pirate words.
All right.
But anyways,
Sounds
that
like a
was
great game.
a long story to get us to the point where, Andy, why don't you tell us about our sponsor?
Well, Meeple Nation is sponsored by Game Toppers LLC, and we would love for you to go to their website. They have some amazing product. They just finished their latest Kickstarter, so go see what they have that's updated. Check out their updated pricing. They have some amazing product. We have thoroughly enjoyed our products over the years that we have purchased from GameToppersLLC.com. You will love them. You will love the product. Check them out.
It is good stuff. Good. Clark, give you a quarter if you can name that movie.
That is Christmas Vacation.
Oh, man, now I got to get you a quarter. Who carries quarters anymore?
I got 2.
Yeah, wow, put in your 2 bits right there. That's awesome. I never carry cash. Anyways, that's it. I'm looking at my watch.
It is, indeed.
It definitely looks like 4 something, or maybe it's highlight 30.
Almost, yeah.
I don't know why I said 4, because we're nowhere near the 4 o'clock hour, but...
Hey, we're almost 4. You're only like 4 hours late, so 4:30 anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, highlight 30. Andy, what do you got?
Well, similar to the last couple of weeks, I have not had time to play much. Life has been so crazy this summer, but I did get an invite by our friend Will to go down to his place. I got an invite to play Zombicide White Death, and I really liked it. Not only that, so we played 2 different games. So we played one game of just Zombicide White Death, and it's an Asian theme, so like Japanese themed, which I thought there's a lot of differences in it, which I think is really cool.
Oh, cool.
I mean, it's really fun. They have chi, they have different rules, so it has a very different feel to it, but it's still Zombicide and still has the Zombicide feel. So I thoroughly enjoyed that, and then we busted out the Ninja Turtles for the second one. And oh my gosh, it was fun. We lost because there are what are called the Warden brutes, which so you have chi in the game, so you'll spend chi to basically increase the abilities of your characters and your weapons. And chi is a resource that you spend, but you can gain it by meditating. Well, with the Wardens, it means that you have to spend chi to attack anything. And when you play the Ninja Turtles, the foot comes out. So the foot soldiers or the foot ninjas come out, and their ability is whatever's in their zone, you can't spend chi to target that zone. So the Wardens force you to use chi to attack, and the foot soldiers or foot ninjas say you can't use chi to attack that particular zone. And it made it really tactical and difficult because you had to take out those Wardens first. And yeah, it made it tough because they were all in the back, and those dang foot ninjas were spawning where the objective tokens are, instead of spawning on the spawn points.
Well, you can never guess where a ninja's going to pop out. It's like the Spanish Inquisition.
Right?
You never expect.
Never expect.
There they are.
Never suspect. Anyway, so it was fun. We lost. That was the easy mission. And it was just how Zombicide usually goes, a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
And the cards just did not come out in our favor. And it was one of those where Jeff, who's the other guy I was playing with, he was playing Master Splinter, and he got stuck in a building where he was surrounded, and we got through all of the spawns with the exception of the Necromancer is part of this Zombicide, and the Necromancer creates his own spawn point, and he actually moves the spawn point where he spawns. He moves it. Instead of him moving, he moves the spawn point and adds corruption. So that's one of the ways to lose the game is if the corruption gets to the specific spot on the map. With Shredder being in the game, the spawning made it difficult, and Master Splinter was completely surrounded, and we just needed to spawn that last spawn point for Shredder. And as long as we didn't get an extra activation of anything, we were good. And as Zombicide always seems to do to us,
yes.
As long as this one card doesn't get pulled out, we're good, and that's what got pulled out. So we lost. But we were really close because we had gotten everything moved on the board because it is way more tactical than Marvel Zombies is, I feel. And we'd finally gotten the board oriented in a way, and all the zombies oriented in a way that we could actually start taking care of those Wardens and really starting to clean up. And then
just too little, too late.
It was just too little, too late.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, I really enjoy how different these Zombicide editions have been, which makes me really excited to see the changes that they're putting in Deceased.
Right, for sure.
Because, I mean, I very much enjoy the Marvel Universe. DC is not my favorite universe, but I'm getting more and more involved with some of those characters, that show up on the small screen, the big screen, and
Sure.
Way excited. We're recording this before the release of the new Superman movie. I'm way excited to go see that. Hoping to take Cheryl to go see that. We just went to go see the Jurassic Park movie. I very much enjoyed that. There is a lot of situational similarities in the new Jurassic Park that I thought, you can be a little bit more creative, but
come up with something new.
Yeah, but there was enough new jumps. I still enjoyed it. Very much enjoyed it. The new big dinosaur was ugly and dumb, but it worked out.
All right.
And I'm hoping Superman works out the same. And I'm not sure why I went down that rabbit hole, but I'm excited for Deceased, and I'm excited for what Zombicide, how they're going to approach Deceased, and how that whole thing is going to be different. Because I enjoyed Zombicide 2nd Edition when the three of us got together and played the Presidents, and we played with the Thundercats with the Green Horde?
It was. Yeah, I think it was the Green Horde.
But anyways, and then there's the White Death, and just the little bit of the changes that they make. I mean, the game is still there, right? You're still fighting zombies, but there's enough change in it that makes each of the situations, each of the scenarios, each of the games feel just a little bit different, enough that it's not just reskin.
Yes, I 100% agree, which is super nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited about Deceased. So that was a long story to say that I am also excited about Deceased.
Okay. Noted. Awesome. I am too.
All right. I have gotten the opportunity to play a new game with Cheryl. This is Mythicals, which is a very simple 2-player card game where you have the ability to draw 3 cards from the draw pile, and then you choose one color that among those 3 cards. And so they could, in rare occasions, all 3 be the same color, or 2 of them be the same color, or you're just taking one of those cards. And then the remainder cards that you are not taking are going to be sorted and stacked by their suit type or their color type into a draw pile. So on your turn, you can either draw the 3 cards, or you can pick one of the discard piles and take all of the colored cards in that pile. Now, there is a slight nuance with that, whereas and the cards are 1 through 5, and then there's a wild in there as well. The nuance is if I take a stack of cards and there are 2 5s in there, or 2 of any number, then any number that I have that I've drawn up, or any number that I already have in my hand of that same color, I have to donate those cards to my opponent. So it's a little bit kind of, do I really want that 1 card in order to give my opponent 2 cards? Or do I really want those 2 cards knowing that I'm going to give my opponent this 1 card, which may be super beneficial to them? Or, what are you going to do? And, but what you want to do is, depending on, after you've drawn the cards, you're going to look at your hand and you're going to say, okay, I have this many blue cards or this many purple cards, and I can't remember all the colors that are in it. But anyway, I have so many cards of this color, and if I have 5 cards of the 1 color, then I can take a score token from that color stack that will give me the most points, usually 10 points for the most one. And then if I have 4 cards of that 1 color, and they have to be in an order, right? They have to be in a run. And then I can take the 7-point one. Or if I have 3 cards, then it can be the 4-point tile. Or if I have 3 cards, it can be the 2-point tile. Did I say that right? 5, 4, 3, 2. So if I have 2 cards, it can be the 2-point tile. Now, also, after I have claimed a score tile, I have the ability to either, and I can't remember the term exactly, but I can either augment another tile that is on the board, meaning I can put a disc on it or 2 discs on that tile, and that will increase the point value of that tile by 1 or 2, depending on how many discs I put on it. Or if I can see that my opponent is getting ready to score a tile, then I can flip that tile face down so that no bonus discs can be added to that tile. And so it is all very strategic about, what are you going to do? And you can only do that after you've claimed a tile. So you can't just do it willy-nilly on your turn. You have to have claimed a tile, and then you can look to see what's left, see what my opponent's going to do, so I can try to manipulate the board to my advantage, to their disadvantage. And all in all, it's a very simple game that has a lot of complexity into it that was, I found it very surprisingly engaging. And I think the card size is extremely annoying, but it's a kind of a hard deck to shuffle. Not as bad as some of those little square cards. I have another game later that I'll talk about that it's a little square cards that impossible to shuffle. But this game was great, and I very much enjoyed it. It does have a BGA implementation on it, which is really nice. But Cheryl and I got the chance to play this together, and I very much enjoyed this as a 2-player only game, and it worked out really well.
Nice.
And
so
that
how
was
much
Mythicals.
How much information is public? Or can you see what your opponent has as far as cards?
Yeah, everything is face up.
Interesting.
Yeah, so what's in their hand is face up. What's all that information is public information, and it's just good times. So yeah, it's not you're making decisions on sound information.
Nice.
But anyways, that is highlights. Now it's time to move on to some player elimination.
I'm out.
Yes, you are. So the player elimination mechanic is one where one or more players are removed from the game before it officially ends. This can happen in a 2-player game, or it can happen in a 16-player game. When a player is eliminated, they can typically no longer take actions affecting the board. They can't score any more points or influence the outcome in a major way, right? I can't block you from doing something. For the most part, they must simply just observe the rest of the game, which is one of the big reasons that not very many of us enjoy that game or that mechanic. This mechanic can create tension and urgency as players try to avoid being eliminated. There's a race to stay into the game, the race to score the most points before they're eliminated. But in player elimination, it has the ability to create long periods of downtime when you're eliminated, and can become a bummer of a game experience if you get eliminated really quick. So with that, let's turn to the game table and see what games we're going to eliminate.
Wow. I can eliminate some of these.
Can you?
Yeah, probably.
Not off my list, I hope.
I don't know. Let's see what we got. Now, there are some that the top of the list, right? Top of my list is Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. Gloomhaven, Frosthaven probably fall into this because if you get knocked out, essentially you're eliminated, right?
Well, it ends the scenario.
It does. And so this has not happened a whole lot for us. So it's one that is, I guess, doesn't rub me the wrong way.
Right.
There are a lot of these that I own that don't necessarily rub me the wrong way because the way it works, it's not terrible.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about Zombicide.
Right.
And you talked about the players being eliminated. It's Master Splinter getting eliminated. That ends the game. It
did. It lost the game for us. That is true. Now, when it's player elimination and that's the end of the game, I don't have a problem with that, right? It is the downtime that I dislike. I think part of it is a lot of those player elimination games kind of have the direct conflict also in that, which I know I've talked about this before, but that direct conflict, when there's player elimination, I feel like once there's blood in the water, it's gang up time. Or once either there's blood in the water or once somebody is pulling ahead, the entire table gangs up on one person. One of the reasons why this is not my favorite mechanic. But there are games on here that I love.
Clank.
Yes.
Clank is all over this list. All the variations of Clank. Because if you get eliminated, your health runs out and you're stuck in the depths, then you're going to score no points.
Or even if you're out of the depths and you're not out.
Yeah, you just miss out on those bonus points.
Yep.
And scoring no further points. But I think this has kind of a slight catch-up mechanic, or not catch-up mechanic, but keep you involved mechanic.
100%.
Where it says, okay, on your turn, instead of taking any actions, you're just going to draw bags from the cubes from the dragon bag, and you're going to progress the game faster.
Which gives you a little bit of satisfaction when you pull cubes out of the other players. And you're like, no, I need everybody to also be eliminated.
Everybody needs to die, yeah.
So that I have a chance of winning if you happen to have score points, or you try to take everybody out before they're out of the depths. Yeah, I think it adds a little bit of fun to that. You kind of, I guess, eliminate yourself when you escape, because you kind of follow that same thing.
Yeah.
If you escape, you're out of the game, you're done. You still get to pull cubes from the bag, just as if someone got killed by the dragon.
Yep. Yeah, so I mean, that is a form of elimination too, even if you eliminate yourself by escaping the dungeon altogether.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Clank games do that fairly well.
I agree.
Totally backfire on you too. You can't just dart in and dart out, because somebody can just get super lucky in there and run all over the dungeon all night and you never pull out their cubes. Or you can be the person that has 12 cubes in there and all 12 pulled out, and 12 is not the number of cubes you needed, but don't remember the number of cubes. So I just gave that number 12.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah. I mean, that you have all the cubes that you need to be eliminated, and for some reason somebody else has double the amount of cubes in the bag, but yours all come out first.
Yeah.
Because bag builders hate me.
Not as bad as I hate Richie. He has he has the worst luck with bag builders. I love playing bag builders with him.
I should try that.
Because he is terrible.
Yeah. Make me feel good on the inside.
It would make you feel good on the inside. It makes me feel good on the inside too.
So another game on the list is Nemesis. And so Nemesis is another one where players are eliminated that doesn't necessarily end the game or end the scenario, but it does change the game, right? And if you get eaten by the aliens, then you're out of the game. That could cause somebody else to win. If they needed you to stay alive, then that chain of events that could cause someone else to win or lose the game as well. But this is a game where if I get eliminated early, then it becomes less fun, right? And we've played games like Shadows over Camelot, Battlestar Galactica, where a player gets eliminated. Battlestar Galactica has it so that you come back in, but you can pick up another hero, where Shadows over Camelot, if you're eliminated, you're out of the game.
Yep.
Which is why Dennis doesn't like Shadows over Camelot.
Is that why?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, because we were playing once, and early on, he risked all of his health and down to 1, and then made a risk and got attacked and died, and then had to wait 3 hours for the next game.
I get that. Once again, the downtime, right?
Yeah, which it's definitely a buzzkill for game night if you're eliminated. And Dave talks about that quite often, where if there was a game, he'd get eliminated, and then he'd go in the other room and play Xbox.
Yeah. Well, at least there's something to do. Which is not that bad if you get multiple people eliminated, then you can just start a new game.
Yeah.
But it really does suck when it's just you.
And Shadows of Camelot is a game where that is. I mean, it's you can't just say, okay, well, this game's going to be done real quick, because it's not.
Well, and player elimination does not happen very often in that game, so it's not one that the goal is to eliminate other players. It happens so rarely, and usually one side or the other wins before anybody's eliminated. Yeah. So for him to get eliminated, in fact, I think that's the first time I've ever heard of anybody being eliminated in that game. Yeah. So yeah, you're kind of stuck by yourself in that case. If it's a game like that where the whole point is not player elimination.
Yeah. And with Doug not here, I feel we have to bring up Arkham Horror, the card game.
Sure.
And that's much like Zombicide, where if an investigator is eliminated or goes insane, that ends the scenario, make a whole new character from scratch.
Right.
And that
would be a downer.
That is kind of a downer, especially like if you're further into the scenario and you've invested this, or if you're one of those people that just loves to deck build.
Then it's a perk.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah. So
it's all about perspective.
Yeah. And that's deck building is something I always loved with the CCGs. I'd spend hours and hours deck building, and But when you go through a campaign, a scenario-driven campaign, and you make it all the way to the end, and then you die and you have to start over, that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, for sure.
But then you use those naughty house rules, and you just say, okay, well, I'm just going to start this over again.
Wow. Who are you?
Yeah, I don't say I did that.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I've definitely done that.
So a game that goes way back to when I was in high school, like maybe even ninth grade, Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
This is one that we played so much in high school, and it is crazy how popular it still is for how old this game is. I mean, it came out mid-90s, and it is still crazy popular. I mean, this is what keeps a lot of game stores open, is Magic the Gathering.
CCGs.
And it's one that I don't play anymore. I have all my original cards still from the 90s. I have not really gotten into anything since the 90s. I stopped playing because it's a money pit and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And still is a money pit. I think probably worse of a money pit because the new stuff comes out so fast. It is just something, I feel like something new comes out every couple months. And if I was into Magic the Gathering, that's all I would do is Magic the Gathering.
It is a lifestyle game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I stay away from all CCGs altogether, because I have a little bit of an addiction issue.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't know how many times I'd go to the game store to buy Star Wars blister packs or booster packs, and I'm like, I have 6 copies of Darth Vader, but this pack might have a 7th one.
Wow, yeah, that is a real problem.
Yeah, I mean, and it was, you open it up and you had the ritual because the rare was like 4 cards in, so you'd flip over those bottom 4 and then you'd close your eyes and say, "Oh, that's a dumb card."
Nice.
But I do miss those days of the CCGs, the Star Wars, Star Trek, even the Lord of the Rings card game.
Yeah.
I never did Magic because, I guess it goes back to that was fantasy based, and Star Wars was always my cup of tea.
Yeah, I didn't do Star Wars.
Died.
I did Magic the Gathering, and I did Star Trek. Those were the 2 that I did. I had a lot of Star Trek cards too, and Overpower.
Yeah, Overpower. Yeah, that's the one that started it all for me.
So yeah, those were good times. I had very fond memories of in between classes, or when we'd have a downtime in one class, especially my senior year. We in fact, I had short story here. So I was the president of the concert choir in my senior year in high school. So I know I'm such a nerd. I'm a choir nerd, but I had keys to all of the choir rooms and all the recording studio stuff. I had keys to everything in the choir department, in the music department. So if I had an off hour, I'd convince my junior friends to slough class, and we'd go into one of those rooms and play Magic.
Oh, that's awesome. If Magic had been out when I was in high school, I probably would have totally been a sucker for that as well.
Yeah, it was fun. We'd go to the Paper Dragon. We're in Roy, Utah.
I remember that. Yep.
And we would play. We'd buy Magic cards. We'd play Magic there. We'd play Warhammer 40K because they had a table there. You could set up your Warhammer 40K.
Oh, yeah.
And it was fun. We had good times back in the day.
Yeah, that's another one. Those tabletop games, those are so impressive.
They are. They're fun.
They are fun.
They're money pits.
They are so money pits. I mean, Star Wars Armada, Star Wars X-Wing.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing about Star Wars X-Wing was that kind of Fantasy Flight reached the end of one line, and so like, oh, we're going to do second edition. We're going to make you buy all the same stuff again.
Well, they did that with Star Wars miniatures too.
Yeah.
I was way into the Star Wars miniatures. Speaking of getting excited for the rares, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to complete the set. They give you, when you buy that first pack of miniatures, they give you a list of, hey, this is what's in the set, and here's a little checkbox so you can mark off what you have. And you're like, I'm almost there. Let me spend another $200 to try to fill this last box.
Yep. Yeah. And then you hit up eBay. Yep.
Or I can't remember there was a website that I used to buy all of the miniatures one-offs. You could just buy them single miniatures, and it was something Toad. Anyway, yeah, I bought so many miniatures off of that website. And even today, like if I have Darth Revan, which he was like an ultra rare, hard to get. And I have him, and I looked him up. Last time I looked him up, he was over $200 for a miniature and the card to go with it. $200. Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that, speaking of Player Elimination Games, that was one of those tabletop war games would fall into that category, right?
For sure.
Where you are trying to eliminate your opponent. And it's one of those style games that I love, especially as a 2-player game. I don't mind Player Elimination as a 2-player game. Memoir 44.
Yeah, no,
right?
That's a great one. Yeah.
And it's a phenomenal game, but I love it as a 2-player game because you finish the game as soon as a player's eliminated. That's the end of the game. You switch sides and you set it up and you play again, and it's great. That's what the game is.
Yep, best out of 2.
And it's so much fun. It's a great, wonderful game.
Yeah.
I think of like Twilight Imperium. That's a lot of time. Once again, if you get eliminated early on, you're talking potentially 8 hours of downtime. At that point, you just go home.
Yeah, you just go home, unless it's at your house.
It's like, come on, guys.
I'm going to go to bed, you guys. Let me know when you're done.
Lock up when you leave. Yeah, that's one of those that would be terrible to get eliminated early on, and then it still goes for another 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah. Or you're at somebody else's house, and it's your copy of the game.
Or you don't have a ride.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. That would be nightmarish.
Oh, all sorts of issues back in the day.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, maybe for that purpose, online games might be better for games like that, because then you can just be like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn on my favorite show. Or I'll play another game online with somebody else.
With somebody else, yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of online games, something I really wish you were on BGA for is there is Mythic Battles Pantheon.
Oh, is there really?
On BGA.
Oh, how's the implementation? Have you played it?
I haven't played it because you're not on BGA.
Okay. You're making me compromise my values here, Nathan. You do realize that, right?
Well, and something else to tease you. I mean, you talk about how Amara doesn't play games with you very often because she's at home. You set up a BGA account.
That's true.
You can invite her to games left and right.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, it's been a great thing for, strengthening my relationship with Madeline, my youngest daughter, who we weren't as close as Ashley and I, just because I think our personalities were way too similar, so that we bumped heads quite a bit through her high school years. Now I think we get along really good, and it's a bummer that she lives so far away that we can't get together as often, but BGA allows us to play some games. And so when she comes over for our family dinners, it's, teach her a new game. She's way excited to learn a new game. And in fact, I even threw out, asked her if she wanted to go to SaltCON, which is something I wouldn't have done otherwise. And she was way excited. So she's going to come to SaltCON end of summer.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, that's cool. That's way cool. Sweet.
I mean, she was way excited, and she said yes. And she's pretty busy. She's the general manager of her restaurant. So hopefully that allows her to actually slip out and be able to come and play. And but yeah, I'm excited. I'm anxious. I bought her a ticket, so we're gonna hopefully see her at SaltCON.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
All because of BGA. See what you can do.
All because of BGA.
You can play games with Amara, and then we can play Mythic Battles Pantheon.
That is making it a little more tempting, I will have to say. Although, playing Mythic Battles Pantheon without actually having the miniatures on the board and all the 3D terrain.
No, you're definitely, yes. There is an element that is missed.
Like, if we're just going to play, just come over to my house and we'll play it.
Yeah. Except for
time.
Yeah, except for time.
I get it.
Yeah.
Fine.
So that's what's nice is I can take 30 minutes in the morning, take all my turns.
Yeah. I would just forget to where I was and what was I doing? I could play one game and only one game, and by the afternoon I'm like, what the heck was I doing this morning? I don't even remember what my strategy was.
Yeah.
Much less multiples.
We talk about this, and we totally deranged from player elimination. I guess we eliminated player eliminated games. Yeah, I did say deranged, didn't I? And now I can't even think of the
derailed.
Thank you, derailed. I was so deranged I couldn't think of the right word I was trying to use. Jody, we play Castles of Burgundy quite a bit. And there's a section that you can actually use, and you can put player notes so you can remember what you're doing.
That's nice.
And he uses that religiously. He uses that a lot to be able to figure out what he's going to play and what he's going to do.
That's smart.
It is. It
takes
too
much
much
time.
Yeah, it takes too much of my time. I'm very much a chaotic player.
What?
And so, because winning isn't necessarily my motivation, right? Playing and enjoying relationships is what drives me to play games. And so, I don't know, maybe Jody gets upset with me sometimes because Nathan's so easy to beat. And, but anyways.
I'm really confused. So playing games, enjoying relationships, I'm still not understanding why you dislike certain games then, because it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't, except for what usually happens is how that gameplay affects the relationship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So, I mean,
okay.
You talk about, we bring up, wow, we're going way out.
Merchants of the Dark Road, is that where we're going?
Merchants of the Dark Road, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're playing that with Dave on a night where I had to be to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. We started this late, and it was supposed to be 30 to 90 minute game, and 3 hours later, I mean, it's approaching 1 o'clock, and I am so fuming mad at this point.
Yeah, you were.
I'm like, we just need to end this game. Yeah. We just need to end this game. And then the more you try to rush Dave, the
worse it gets.
Yeah, the worse it gets because he's got to start his process over.
Yep.
And so, yeah. No, sometimes those game experiences are damaging to relationships, and so they cause scar tissue.
I get that. I've had a few of those.
Yeah.
I've had a few of those.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about cyclades either.
Well, there's cyclades. There's the D&D one. What's that called? Why can't I think of it? Lords of Waterdeep.
Oh.
Yeah, I had an issue with that one too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that was also with Dave. That's funny. Yeah, that was and I love that game. I still love that game. I'll still play the game. I just won't play it with Dave.
A lot of those negative experiences are all situational, right? Like
100%.
Yeah, with Merchants of Dark Road, it was I had to get up early, and that just wasn't happening. And so, as such, scar tissue's there.
Yeah, I get it. We just need to heal that scar tissue on some of these.
Yeah,
that's all.
Or just cut off the leg and not play the game again. All right, back to this list.
Back to the list.
So it was funny. So I've made the list of, I went through, and it's the top 35 games on BGG. And of those games, there's only one legendary encounters, legendary deck building game on there. And it is my favorite one. And that is the Aliens version of Legendary Encounters and Aliens deck building game. And this is one that I wish Doug hadn't wanted to cut off his arm for this game and not play it again.
Did he not like this?
He didn't like it so much, no.
Huh.
And this is by far my favorite rendition of these games.
I liked this probably about as much as I liked the 007. I really enjoyed the 007 version.
Yeah.
I didn't care for the Marvel version very much, which I love Marvel too, but it kind of fell flat for me. But I thought this was great. It surprises me that Doug didn't like it.
And I've played Marvel hundreds of times, probably. The love for the Marvel one is there for me through attrition, essentially, right? I mean, I've played the game so much. It's kind of like Castles of Burgundy. I've played that game 35 times, haven't won it yet, and I still look forward to playing it over and over again.
You've played it more than I have.
Yeah.
And I've owned it for a long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've played it a ton, and I know how to lose it well.
Well, that's good. You've learned how to lose gracefully in that game. I like it.
It's just a normal feeling.
The one of the ones that stands out to me is Tiny Towns.
Yeah.
I really like this game. It is one that I have taught many times, and it seems like it is very simple when you teach it and when you're learning it, but there's a lot of planning that goes on in this game, and a lot of having to really puzzle everything out, and especially if someone just chooses a resource that they want and it's one that you don't want, where you're going to put that resource can totally hose you over. I love this game for that reason, though. I love the puzzle aspect of it. I love trying to get those buildings built and lay those cubes in the right order. This is one that I don't think I'll ever get Dave to play again. I've never seen him struggle so much in a game in my life.
Well, I'm in my 5th game of Tiny Towns with Dave on BGA.
Oh, really? He's played it?
Yeah.
On BGA? Really?
Yeah,
How did you do that?
I just invited him to a game.
And he just played, huh?
Yeah.
How do you do?
And it's great because I love playing BGA games with Dave because it takes all of my frustration away.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and it allows him all the time he needs to analyze. Beautiful win-win situation for the both of us to play together.
Yeah.
But yeah, you broke Dave with that Tiny Towns game, but apparently not enough because he's winning me all the time.
As a prize?
Yes. I put a bow on.
How do I get into that game?
It is such an upfront cost.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun revisiting this game, and it was one that I probably should have done a rule refresh, but I didn't. I just went in through playing it, and which is probably part of the big reason why I'm struggling so much. But yeah, I'm still too stubborn to go read the rules. I'll read the rules to something else instead of. Like it's slowly coming back, so I'll just let that piece together while I learn the rules to something else.
Well, I think the expansions kind of fixed this game as well. This is one of those that the expansions were, I felt, kind of a must because it helps mitigate other people's choices a little bit. And if you plan ahead enough, like if you can get the coins, you can spend a coin to take a different resource than what someone calls out. So I mean, if you plan ahead, it can be, it can not hurt so much, and you have a much higher chance of building what you want to build in the order you want to build them. So, but this is a great game. This is one of those where you can definitely tell when someone has had experience playing it because the player elimination comes into effect, and some players will be, I'm done. I can't do anything. I have a board full of cubes with no buildings because I didn't really know what I was doing.
Poorly.
Right. Versus the players that have a little more experience and they just keep going. So that can be a little of a sour taste in certain people's mouths if that's their first play and they're like, yeah, that game sucked. But hopefully not. Hopefully, it's one of those where you give it another chance. It was kind of like I would relate that to Logan's first play of, because we were playing it wrong, but first play of Everdell.
Oh yeah.
And we weren't playing it exactly right, and he finished, and the rest of us just kept going and going and going. And it took us a long time to finish, but it's one of those that still can do that. It still can have that feel to it for some people. Then I know that's why Doug's wife Lydia doesn't care for it, is because she finishes and everybody else is still doing a ton of stuff. Yeah,
and it's frustrating. You're like, oh, well, to watch other people succeed while you're setting your score all of a sudden, and you just quickly see that it's becoming a losing score.
Right.
Yeah. No, I get that for sure. Another one on this list that has an interesting player elimination mechanic is Ankh.
Yeah.
The Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, this is very different. And very unique.
Yeah, we played this a game with you, me, and Corey DeCaria.
Right.
And as we were playing, I was eliminated because I was the weak link, and Corey was in the lead. And as such, I wasn't necessarily eliminated, but I got put on second place's team. So I got put on your team.
You were Team Andy, so we were Nandy. Team Nandy.
Team Nandy. That sounds like a Nandy name. Well, you were the lead of the team, so wouldn't it be Ethan?
Ethan, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ethan. Anthon. I don't know.
Something. Anyways, we'll figure that out later. But it is an interesting mechanic where you say, okay, a player is eliminated instead of being removed from the game. They are added to the second place team. And it's frustrating, I'm sure, for whoever's in first place, because now all of a sudden they have to team up, or they don't have to team up, but then they have to deal with kind of two fronts. The eliminated player comes back, they're hampered. There's a lot of stuff that they can't do, and they share some stuff with their newly appointed teammate, but it still does, in my opinion, give them kind of a catch-up mechanic.
For sure it does.
And if first place is not way in the lead, then there's a pretty good chance first place is going to lose.
Yeah.
Which is what happened to Corey.
That's exactly what happened to Corey, yeah. And he was decently in the lead.
Yeah, he wasn't way in the lead.
But not way in the lead.
Yeah, and so when our forces combined, it was definitely an overwhelming wave for him. So.
Yeah.
But I did like that wasn't just, I'm out of the game.
Yeah, I did too.
I'm still involved. You gave me the controller that wasn't plugged in, but I was still playing the game.
You were, and you were doing such a good job.
Yeah. But Ankh, I enjoyed. And the miniatures in Ankh.
They are cool.
As much as I complain about Simon's business model, their miniatures are usually almost always top-notch.
They are top-notch, and their games are actually, a lot of them anyway.
A lot of them are
really
very fun. Yeah. All right. What else do you got on this list that you want to hit?
Well, one that has was really hot at a lot of our tables for a while when it first came out, and I believe Logan was the first one to pick this up, is Skull.
I was just going to go to Skull.
Yeah, so this is one that I've actually introduced to my in-laws, and because they're not gamers at all, but I introduced this one to them, and we played it over and over and over and over again. So this is
almost a party game, Andy.
It is. It's
especially if you get 2 copies.
I probably won't buy 2 copies just so I can say that it's not a party game, but
I will have no parties. Just games.
Just games. But we played this a lot, and it's a bluffing game, and I'm not huge on bluffing games either, but this is a fun bluffing game. It's one that's short. It's a lot of fun. The bluffing is it's just one of those where they've made it enjoyable. And okay, you get eliminated, not a big deal. The game ends fairly quickly. And I guess it's one of those player elimination games that it's not too big of a deal because, you sit out and it's still fun to watch the interactions between players. And then the game ends, you get all your tiles back and you go for it again.
Yeah. Yep. That's, I seriously, Stan, quit being a happy dog. It's a game that I think I didn't actually buy 2 copies. I think I've inherited Logan's copy.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Played it with 10 people, and maybe it's even 12 people that it goes up with 2. Is it a 6-player game or a 4-player game?
It's a 4-player, I think.
No.
I think. Is it 5?
It's at least 5.
I think it's 5.
It is a 6-player game.
Is it
3
really?
to 6.
Is it go up to 6?
Yeah.
Oh, that really does sound like a party game.
Yes, yeah. So you add a second copy, you got 12 people in there, and it is such a great game. I highly enjoy it. And the artwork is awesome.
The artwork is cool.
All right. Any others on this list that are jumping out? Oh, Feed the Kraken's on this list.
Yeah. Got to talk about
this
that
game. Yeah, Feed the Kraken is a great game, a great player elimination game because you have 3 teams. You have the pirates, the loyal sailors, and then the kind of the shoehorn. No, not the shoehorn. The monkey wrench in the whole thing is the cult leader. And if you're playing with a higher player count, then there is cultists as well. And then the funny thing, no, it's not a funny thing. It's just a fun thing about the cultists is they don't know who the cult leader is.
But they've joined.
They signed up. Yep.
They're all
blindly.
in.
It's a short game that packs a lot of meat into that. A lot of that player elimination, the hidden role, negotiation, social interaction, all that in a fun 60-minute game that goes really well.
Yeah, this is very well done. This is one that we have played quite a few times and have had a lot of fun with. It's interesting to play with different people because you think you got someone nailed down on what they are. And at least the last time I played this, I thought I had pretty much everyone figured out, which a lot of times I'm able to figure out. I'm fairly close to being accurate. I was so off this last time we played.
Really?
I was completely off. I totally got completely the wool pulled over my eyes or something because I was wrong on almost everyone.
Awesome. There's nothing worse than thinking you have it and then finding out you don't.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. So I want to hit on one game on this list that I don't own that I really, really want to try. And it's a game that I usually don't play because of the area control in it. And that is Risk Legacy. So Risk Legacy is the first Legacy game that really just kind of brings out that whole Legacy experience. And I'm really anxious and interested to try this. And it's been out since 2011, so this is an older game for sure. but I would very much like to try Risk Legacy. And I was just looking at to see if it was available anywhere, and it's $163 on Amazon. So don't buy it from Amazon. There's a lot of other places that have it under $60.
Serious?
So, yeah. But yeah, this is one that I keep hoping to find at GameSwap. But the problem is if you pick it up at a GameSwap, unless it's sealed, it's played, right? Partially played.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Unless it's like my Betrayal Legacy.
Yeah.
Which is opened but never played.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, somebody bought it and thought, oh, this is going to be a great... Oh, it says Legacy? I'm not going to tear stuff up. I'm not going to throw stuff out. Throw out the game instead.
Well, we played Betrayal Legacy is on this list too.
Yeah.
And we started playing Betrayal Legacy. We didn't get through a ton of it.
It's one of those Legacy games that actually fell flat for me.
It did for me too. And I was so bummed because I love Betrayal at House on the Hill. I love it. But I just found myself after every game, I'm like, I wish we would have just played Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Yeah. And looking at this list of highly rated, Betrayal is not nearly as highly rated as Betrayal Legacy. But yeah, no, I'm with you. I think I'd always rather just go play Betrayal House on the Hill.
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty decent list of games that most of them we have played, that we own, that have this player elimination mechanic in it, that some of them are kind of really enjoyable. And even though it may have a mechanic that we don't particularly like, it still doesn't fall flat with us in a lot of these games.
Yeah. It's surprisingly common game mechanic in our snobbish game collections.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But yeah. No, I also just discovered that Risk Legacy has a sequel. It was re-implemented, not a sequel, but it was re-implemented by Risk Shadow Forces, which does not include Rob Daviau as a designer, and as such, its ratings represent that.
Oh,
so,
okay.
But
makes sense.
Yeah. So I want to try Risk Legacy, not Risk Shadow Forces.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah. And with that, that's all we're going to talk about. We're going to eliminate this list from our lineup. Actually, we're not going to eliminate it. It'll stay there.
Until next time, though.
We'll see you not getting eliminated at the game table.
Thank you for listening and being a part of Meeple Nation. If you would be so kind as to follow, subscribe, share, and rate or review this podcast, it really helps to spread the fun. You can be more involved in supporting the podcast by joining the nation at patreon.com/Meeple Nation, or you can find a link at the top of our webpage, meeplenation.com. And while you're there, look at all our extra content. There are links to all our past episodes, a wide variety of blogs, pictures from our Instagram feed, and bios for all the hosts and our awesome bloggers. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all under Meeple Nation. If you would like to chat with the hosts or other members of the nation, you can join our Facebook group, Meeple Nation Off Air. We hope to see you again at a game night, a con, or maybe a suspense-driven evening of Werewolf. Thank you for listening and supporting Meeple Nation, and stay tuned for next week's episode.
Thank you so much for listening. We very much want to thank our patrons who help keep the podcast running. I personally want to thank my co-hosts for all the help they provide with both content here on the podcast, in addition to what we have available on our website. Without them, the podcast would not happen. If you too would like to support the podcast, you can join the nation at patreon.com/Meeple_Nation. Or you can find a link to Patreon at the top of our webpage, meeplenation.com. If you have any questions, comments, or games you feel should be on our radar, you can always reach us at meeplenation@gmail.com. We can't wait to hear from you. I am grateful to Doug and Andy who helped me edit episodes, and I want to thank James and Kim Clark who do the editing on our blogs and on our webpage, which can be found at meeplenation.com. We want to thank Brain Detergent for our music. If you want to find more from him, you can follow his links that can be found on our webpage, or simply search for Brain Detergent on YouTube to find more of his tracks. Thank you again for listening and being part of the Meeple Nation community.